Between COVID and heart attacks and COVID, it's been a rough couple of weeks for my family, for my siblings. Um, how are y'all doing? Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're doing better than we are. Um, we're still hanging in here though. So just to kind of address what I just said in the title, a couple weeks ago, my brother was feeling bad at work, head hurting, high blood pressure, and he decided to come on home early. I tried to get him to the hospital. He wouldn't go. So he said, I'll just go to the doctor in the morning, let him check my blood pressure, some blood pressure medicine, and I'll be better. And so he went to the doctor the next morning, and the doctor said, you need to go to the hospital now, right now. Do not stop. Do not go and collect $200. Go straight to the emergency room now. His blood pressure was like 233 or 206 over 133, which if you don't know, look it up. It's extremely high. That's like past you're about to stroke out high. So they ended up keeping him in the emergency room for a couple of days and discovered that one of his arteries was 80 to 90% blocked, which they drilled out with their whatever they do, and they put a stent in to hold it open. And they noticed two other arteries were partially blocked. And they said, but we think we can clear those with medication. So they're clearing those with medication. That was 2 weeks ago. Last week, my sister, which I don't know, some of y'all remember, we had lost her last year to a bad health scare. And she's had a long road of recovery. She's just now to where she's able to get out and get to her therapies and all that stuff. She has COVID. And one of her big health issues is she has respiratory issues. So super scared about that. It ain't just that she has COVID again. And then yesterday I get a phone call from my brother, and I answer it, and I'm like, hey, it turns out it wasn't him. It was somebody at his work saying, hey, I'm with your brother. I need to know what medications he's on because the paramedics need to know. Yeah. I'm like, para what? So apparently yesterday at work, his chest got real tight. His head started hurting. His left arm went numb, and he got real dizzy. So they called the emergency services, paramedics. And they ended up taking him to the emergency room. Now here's the thing about it. My brother works a physical labor job. And after he had that procedure where they ran a tube into his heart and looked around and put in a stent, they sent him back to work after just a couple of days. Now, I know things changed, but way back when my dad had a stent put in, they told him he couldn't lift more than 10 pounds for like a few weeks. They sent my brother back to lifting 50, 60, 70, 80 pounds, within 3 or 4 days. I felt like it was too soon. And so they took him to the hospital last night. Not really happy because they didn't keep him. They're like, well, you have the signs of a heart attack, but we're confused because the test doesn't show exact evidence of a heart attack. But you have the signs of a heart attack, and his blood pressure is still high, even on the blood pressure medicines. So they said, well, you need to move up your heart doctor's appointment because he had a heart doctor's appointment scheduled for a couple weeks out. And so they've moved it up to tomorrow. So hopefully we can find out tomorrow and they can fix him. But yeah, so between my two siblings, they've had a couple heart attacks and they got COVID. And I'm over here just fat and praying God move on them and don't afflict me any more than I'm already afflicted. My hip pain, it's gotten worse where it's just hurting constantly, not instead of just certain circumstances, but I'm going to suffer through. I'm more worried about my siblings right now. I'd planned on start making more videos. I just been stressed out over them. My truck is kind of running. This is the first time I've driven it more than 2 miles since we got it to start again. It just started flashing a misfire, so I don't know if that's a tune-up or what. But if I can get it good and straight running, I'm going to start getting back in the gym again and those videos to commence. But y'all keep my brother and my sister in your thoughts and prayers. I appreciate it. For those of you who are reaching out and still watching, I appreciate y'all. I love all y'all. God bless y'all. And roll tide.